All right. Well, we're here today with Irma Ulray, also known as Amre Cortadino, right? Did I say
Right.
that correctly?
Yes.
Okay. I've never personally met Irma, but I became friends with her through the American Christian Fiction Writers online critique group. We have critiqued some of each other's chapters in our writing, and that's been a lot of fun. So it's been a blessing and a pleasure to get to know you. And I feel like we're friends. I feel like we know each other.
Yeah.
So Irma has agreed to an interview. She's a pre-published writer, but she is well on her way to the publication world, and I have no doubt about that. So we're going to jump right into some interview questions here, Irma, and get going so that the readers and listeners can get to know you because that's what we're here for.
Well,
The
thank
first,
you.
first thing is just tell us a little bit about yourself and your family, if you would.
Okay. So this is me. um, I have been married for almost 40 years, and we have four children, two girls, two boys. I always say if I had the boys first, I wouldn't have had the girls. Boys are a lot busier than girls are. Um, our youngest is adopted. He came to us as a foster child,
Mm.
and he is developmentally delayed. We learned so much through raising him, and having a child with challenges just opens up a whole different world to you. Um, it's amazing, and we've really been blessed by having Luke in our lives. So, and now we have 3.5 grandchildren. Our fourth grandchild will be born on Valentine's Day next year. Uh, I raise chickens. I love chickens. When I'm feeling especially stressed out, I talk with the Lord, and then I go out and run things by my chickens. They're very sympathetic.
And they're a captive audience, right?
Yes, I'm not sure it helps them to produce more, but it's just amazing to watch them. They're just very, very relaxing. So that's a little bit about my life.
Good. And I know that a lot of listeners enjoy getting to know authors and a little bit about their personal lives. So thanks for sharing that.
Sure.
Tell us what inspired you to write YA fiction. Why that genre?
Ah, well, there was a writing prompt, and it started out, and I knew exactly what to do with it, but I honestly, I didn't set out to be a YA writer. It's just that line, and then the story that just kind of wrote itself in my mind, just jumped out at me. I think YA is such an important age because there's so much being thrown at children, young adults. And I think that encouragement is far and few in between. And I remember, all the do's and the don'ts. You get a lot of rules thrown at you. But I think we need to capture more of that joy and the happiness for life, that hope that we know that we have in the Lord. So yeah, it just kind of captivated my mind, and I couldn't stop writing the story.
Yeah, amen. I'm all about that hope.
Good.
So, how and when did you start your writing journey?
Oh, I feel like as soon as I could hold a pencil, I started writing. Um, I grew up in a Christian home, but as we know, nothing is perfect. And a lot of times I would go to my room for safety, peace, avoid chaos, conflict. And everything that I saw outside of my window was what I wrote on the page. Everybody else's life intrigued me. I just thought everybody had such a smooth road, like the father knows best, leave it to Beaver. And I just couldn't wait to put that all on a page.
Mhm.
So yeah, I started writing very young. If I had any of that now, I probably would be so embarrassed. But it was a great outlet, and that idea, that outlet, has never left me. That desire to express myself on paper.
Yeah, I found myself writing in diaries and things like that as a child too, putting out. I remember one specific thing when I didn't get to watch the Waltons. It was like the worst day of my life.
Right.
If only I could go back to that worst day.
Exactly.
Well, what unique challenges do you face in writing in this specific genre?
Well, I think because this age group has my heart, I want to do my best to inspire, to encourage. I feel like that's needed in every age, at every juncture in life, but especially at this point because you make critical decisions. Just like almost driving myself to be sure that I infuse that God-given encouragement, that hope that we all need into my words. That really makes me nuts, wakes me up at night. It's just such a thrill, especially when it comes out, to where, wow, that really encouraged me when I read that. Oh, good. That's my point.
Well, that goes definitely straight into the next question I had for you, was how you incorporate Christ and hope into your writing.
Well, as we were talking before this, there is conflict in the world, in our lives, in our homes, in our communities, and looking for that hope. A lot of people don't have that, and when you know Jesus, you know hope. Not saying that every day you walk on water or feel like you're up in the clouds and enjoying everything that's coming your way, that may not be true. And I don't want to put out a fanciful message out there, but the truth is that that you are loved, that you are meant to be here, that there is something better, and that the Lord means for our good. He said he has a plan and a hope for us, and I believe him. And so that gives me a lot of hope on days that are going south, times that are not optimum.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, can you talk a little bit more about the next question? The enemy is really attacking us today. And the questions that I had to ask you are just completely gone.
Oh, wow.
So
I can make them up and you wouldn't
you can
know.
make up whatever you want to right now. But since we talked beforehand about the questions and what we wanted to share with those who are going to listen. So, you know what? God must just want you to just share about your story and your journey. And I'm going to take his lead on this and stop trying to fit this interview into my plan and what I had hoped to do today. So I'm just going to let you share with us.
Oh, bless your heart. Well, from what I remember, the next question would have something to do with if my characters were inspired by true events or people in my life. Yes. And the answer is yes. And I think most writers would say that. As a child, in my culture, my very Italian background, you found a job, you got busy, it was blue collar, you worked hard, and at the end of the day, you were very proud of what you did. And I think that is part of my heritage, my culture. But writing was absolutely not something you were going to make money at least it was, viewed that way. So I was very much discouraged from writing. 8th grade, I don't remember what I wrote about, to tell you the truth. It was probably something history, because I remember my grammar school, my grade school was very pro history. I won a honorary mention in a writing contest. And boy, that just kind of, when I got home, you're not going to do that. Oh, okay. But there was always that desire. And so some of my characters, or the things that they say, come from that point of view. I had a couple aunts, and my dad was a big encourager. And so it was always, you're going to be okay. You're going to succeed. The Lord is going to bless you. And then there was that other side where if you don't get to work, that kind of thing. And I think that's probably something in all of our lives. You can look back and say, yeah, I had a lot of encouragement. Or you could look back and say, man, that negativity was thrown at me every chance they got. But I think that knowing the Lord, we know that he means for our good. And so get that negative stuff and just, and go for what's positive. So back to my characters, yeah, you'll see some of that coming out. And it's funny when it does. It's kind of like, wow, where did that come from? I thought I lost those words. And then the other ones that are positive, it's like, yay. My characters got it.
Yeah. So good.
So that's that. And I was going to say, along with the honorable mention from 8th grade, it was really shocking to me. From my window is this YA novel that I'm writing. It's part of a trilogy. It's the very first book in the trilogy. And I wrote it. I had no idea what I was doing. I put it out there in a contest because, that's kind of, you want to measure how you're doing. And I definitely didn't win. I didn't even come close, but I got so much encouraging feedback. And one of the things this judge said, and we're going like, 2 years and 2 months. How do I remember that? I can't remember why I went in the kitchen, but anyway, he said, she said, you will definitely get this book published. It's so exciting. It's fresh. It's new. Learn how to write. Oh, okay. That's all I have to do. Anyway, but yeah, so it's been an encouraging journey because from there, I won first place a couple of years ago in an Ohio contest. And then I was a Genesis finalist last year. And then I stopped working on this story and started doing a blog. And so I've got that. If you don't mind plugging the blog, if you go to maryheartinc.org. No, that's not true. maryheartinc.com. Every Friday I post a blog, and it's for encouragement. It has nothing to do with my book at this point, but it's all about encouraging and finding how God encourages us in what we're doing every day. So anyway, From My Windows won a couple awards, and sometimes it doesn't. So
yeah, we were talking about that before we started recording this interview. So tell us about this year and the contest with your book and also with Dave Parks.
Right. So last month I won the Virginia ACFW Virginia Crown Award, first place in mystery, suspense, and thriller. And the competition was stiff. And I have to say, if you enter a contest, congratulate yourself, because it isn't easy. And you put yourself out there and you never know what the results are going to be. And it's scary, but it is good to challenge yourself and do that. And, this time I ended up as a first place winner, but, next time, probably not, or maybe not. But so that was fun and that was encouraging. And then Dave Parks and I are writing an exciting, I can't tell you the name of it because I'm not supposed to, because we're in this contest. And but we actually are finalists in the ACFW First Impressions contest. And so that was pretty surprising, but it is so cool because Dave's background is so varied. And he was an English professor and he spent some time in Israel. And so all of that comes to play in this new trilogy that we're writing. And yeah, it's pretty exciting.
So I know this wasn't on our agenda, but I'm kind of curious. how that works, writing in collaboration with someone on a novel. Do you take turns with chapters, or do you both work on the same chapter and give ideas? How does that work?
Well, like we were talking about before, this story has kind of been building in my head for a couple of years now. And in order to get these characters to be quiet so I could work on From My Window, I said, okay, I'll make you a deal. You be quiet. I'll write out an outline. I'll write the first chapter, and then you let me get back to what I need to be doing. So I did that. I've never outlined before. I'm a pantser all the way. That means you have no idea what you're going to write that day. You sit down and pray and ask the Lord to guide and direct your words, and then you just let your fingers fly on the keyboard. This is completely different from me. So I typed out this outline, ran it by Dave, and he said, yeah, that sounds pretty good. And I said, okay, you be the guy main character, I'll be the girl main character. And he said, okay. So I wrote out the first chapter, and I said, would you take a look at this, see what you think? And I think Dave is pretty reserved, but I think his enthusiasm was up. And for every chapter thereafter, it has been that way. So I wrote the first couple because there's also a professor involved. And so then from this point on, he's going to be the main guy character, and I'm going to be the main girl character. And yeah, it's fun because it's not just in America. And so Dave's got some expertise in that area and I have none. So I'm trying to read geography and maps and all that stuff. And anyway, it's pretty exciting. But yeah, we go back and forth in emailing because Dave lives in a different area of the country than I do. And so our only communication is email, just way different.
Right. And you met Dave through the critique group?
Yeah, actually, I have a critique group, and I saw Dave out there in the main loop, and I snagged him. I said, hey, I need your expertise. And little by little, so I think my critique group is up to 8 or 9 people. And I finally had to say, hey, I can't critique that much in 1 week. So yeah, it's really, really fun, but Dave adds a lot to the equation.
Yeah, good. So what else would you like to tell us before we wrap up our time, probably in the next 3 to 5 minutes?
Okay. This year with COVID, it's been really interesting. I'm sure you feel the same way. The isolation can get to you, but that's kind of a subset of being a writer as well. And ACFW and being online and having critique groups, I've never experienced that loneliness or the bleak quiet, because you always have somebody to talk with and somebody to bounce ideas with. And so I feel like as a writer, I don't feel any writer ever works in isolation or quiet or silence, because we have this whole group of people out there that we can talk with and bounce ideas off of. When I need prayer, I post something in my group and immediately, I'll get responses. So it's just been an amazing journey. And like I said, I don't feel like a writer writes in isolation or only by themselves. It's not a single, well, maybe it's not a team sport, but it is in a sense, because we are each other's teammates, and we're here to bless each other. First of all, glorify the Lord. And then we do bless each other because we're close by, even, through email. It's just been awesome.
Yeah, that's one thing I love about this Christian writing community is you really do feel like a family, together, and it's not like a competition. So when you enter a contest and so do your friends, you don't win, but they do. I mean, you really are excited for them and happy for them. And I love that about the writing world that I've found so far anyway, in the last 2 years since I've been doing this.
I agree completely.
Yeah. So I'm going to be dropping also on the blog post your web address, for your blog and your social media, platforms that people can follow you and find you. What would you say that readers could do to support you the most on
Mm.
this journey?
First of all, pray. Uh, I appreciate prayer. I have a couple of family members who are struggling with cancer, and so pray. Please pray. Uh, Pray for the Lord's will to be done here on earth, in my family, in the health of our country, for my writing. Yeah, um, that would be number one. Number two, on Facebook, my author page is From My Window. So if you just look up From My Window, you'd find me there. Every Friday, I post a blog. It's maryheartinc.com. And so I would appreciate that. Subscribe. If you would please subscribe, that'd be great, because everything is about platform. And so I'm supposed to be getting a newsletter together in my spare time.
What's that?
I have to quit drinking coffee because I don't have time for it anymore. But yeah, those three things. Prayer. If you just do nothing else but pray for me, I would really appreciate that. If you look me up on Facebook at From My Window, that'd be awesome. If you check me out every Friday at maryheartinc.com, that'd be great. Let me say that one more time, see if I could say it right. maryheartinc.com. Every Friday I post a blog, and it is for encouragement. I feel like we all need encouragement. If COVID were to go away tomorrow, all of our political and chaos would go away tomorrow. There's still something to encourage somebody about. And so encouragement is huge.
Yeah.
So those three things, that'd be awesome.
And just want to throw in there too, before I started writing and getting into this journey, I had no idea what authors put into the books that are published for our enjoyment. I've been an avid reader my entire life,
Yeah.
and I had no idea what went on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And as writers trying to be published and to get out into that world, I don't think people realize, who are not writers,
No.
all that's involved, and
Right.
how you have to build that platform, and the algorithms and the search engine optimization, and how just simply commenting on a Facebook post, commenting on a blog post, those type of things move you up in
Yeah.
the search engine online and help you with building that platform. So just throwing that out there too for people, for information.
Right.
If you read something and you enjoy it, comment on it.
Right.
Because that really helps that author more
Yeah.
than you know.
Right. It isn't just you're a writer, so you sit there and you write a book every day or whatever. There are so many other things that you have to do. You need to do all the social stuff to stay up on it, all the marketing stuff. It's not like maybe a C.S. Lewis, where you drop a manuscript on somebody's desk and they say, yeah, and then they run with it. That's not how it is. So it's all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes. And I was joking about quitting coffee, but you really do a lot more besides write. So
yeah, I had no clue.
Yeah, no, neither did I. I should have picked a different occupation. Yeah.
Now here we are trying to encourage each other. Keep going, keep going. We can do this.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for spending some time with me today, and all of the crazy technical glitches that you that are watching this don't even know. Yeah, so hopefully God will use this in spite of my technologically challenged issues today, and it will just go out there into cyberspace when it gets posted, and everyone will follow you in your journey, because I know you're going to be published.
Oh, bless your heart. Well, thank you. And, technology happens, but I think the more important thing is that I've enjoyed my time with you. I feel like I've made a friend. I know you a little bit better. I'd love to know my readers, other readers out there, and And Dina, we're not the only ones that have technology problems, so you did good.
All right. Well, we'll be seeing you around, okay?
All right. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thank
I
you.
appreciate it. Thank you.